It's a value proposition. What I mean by that is it's a value and a service you provide to your customer. By having access to your client's Google Analytics, you're able to tell them more information, guide them into better recommendations, and frankly, you can frame the impact of our campaign far greater. Frankly, even if you're only running TV, it's good to have access to Google Analytics because guess what? You can see definitively often the weeks that you're running TV because their direct site traffic goes up.
I just had Indiana Design Center on IndyStyle, and they said that they saw a big jump the day they were on.
We've heard that story for the last 11 years on IndyStyle. It's part of our pitch on the IndyStyle side. Michelle, great point.
So you're saying TV works?
TV works.
No.
TV drives on, offline drives online, right? We know this. Pay attention to national advertisers that advertise in sporting campaigns and primetime television. Their call to action is no longer call us. It's go to our website, right?
And there are online companies that will advertise on TV. That work.
Google, Facebook spend millions. Actually, I think Google spent over $1 billion last year in TV advertising. Facebook's a big one. Think about it. Amazon. Oh my God, they spend a lot of money on TV.
See YouTube ads on TV?
YouTube ads everywhere. I saw, oh, geez. YouTube spends a lot on that TV. So, even if it's not a digital client, having Google Analytics access is a very valuable tool. It's free to them. They can control the fact that all you see is data. You can't change anything. You can't mess up anything. I'm just looking to help you out, Mr. Client. So, client must provide you with viewing rights. That's what you ask the client. Can you give my email address viewing rights to Google Analytics? Whoever manages their Google Analytics, whether it's themselves, the webmaster, it literally, I promise you, it takes 15 seconds. It's not hard. You click on 2 buttons and it's done. They add your email address, that's it. And it will populate into your Google Analytics account, okay? So it's important for you to know what email you set up Google Analytics with. If you haven't set up Google Analytics, literally type in Google Analytics into the search engine, make a profile, that's the email address you want them to give you, okay? So, let me show you what this can look like. We'll just go off my screen for a second. So I'm going to go to Google Analytics. Okay. I'll see that I'm signed in. So my Google Analytics email address is nelson.spade@gmail. Okay. Many of yours will be to your WishTV account. So, right now I'm looking at Google Analytics for wishtv.com. That's my default that shows up. Okay. If you click right here, this little where it says all website data, once you amass more and more clients you have access to, underneath this tab, you'll click all accounts. On the left-hand side here, you'll see analytics accounts. Here's all the campaigns, all the clients' websites I currently have access to that I can look at at any time in real time. Okay? So, let's go to an example. Let's go to Build Your Future. So it will take a second and it'll reload the data. Okay, so no one's on their site right now. So I'm going to work off my page, off the training document here, to see the most common place where you're going to use in Google Analytics. Okay, so I logged in at Google Analytics. That's step 1. Step 2, it says on the left-hand side, select acquisition.
Where are you? Okay.
Next page.
Gotcha.
So under acquisition, I select all traffic. Then I select source/medium. It's going to think for a second. So I'm gonna set a different date range because the client's not live right now. Just a second. Oop. So I'm gonna select the value of last year. So check this out. This is where you can sell a lot of a story. So I selected all of 2020. In all of 2020, they had 10,633 users to their website. Okay, good to know. By filtering by source/medium, right there, can't reach that high. We're going back to, this is why it's important to use UTM codes. Remember how we talked about source is always Circulus or Wish? We talked about how medium is the product, social, display, video, ATV, etc. This is where it populates. This is the end of the rainbow. Check it out. Notice anything common in the first 5 listings here?
4 of them are us.
4 of them are us. That's exactly correct. Of all their site traffic, 10,633 people, numbers 1, 2, 3, and 5 is all stuff we generated for them. So if we do quick math, Mr. Bob, 6, 7, almost 8,000 of that 10,633 is generated from our campaign. You think that's a valuable, tangible piece of information they'd like to know?
41% of it is circ display.
41% of it is Circulus display.
I mean, that's
That's undeniable value, takeaway, and hey, here's the contract re-sign.
Did they only run in March and June?
No, but we had bigger flights in March and June for some recruiting they were doing.
So direct is just, sorry.
John, go ahead.
Okay. This seems like a good time to ask what I was going to ask earlier. If, let's say they've gone through another source, not Wish, Circulus.
You can see it.
Okay. Conversely, they can see us too.
Yep. If they have access.
So if they didn't ask for access, we can see their stuff, but they're never going to see ours.
It's all about who has access.
Okay.
So true story, years ago, Build Your Future, we had exclusively. Then they started spending multiple monies in the market. And I looked at this all the time. And I educated them on the fact that our campaign was doing better than the other guys. Guess what eventually happened? It dropped the other guys because we could show them definitively we were doing a better job in getting them more quality traffic. Google Analytics is very powerful to help tell the story. So on the front end with Google Ad Manager, right, we just went over this, it's, hey, I got you this many people to your site, these many conversions, you're pacing well to the market. The back end of that report is, and I'm 70% of your overall site traffic. It can be very, very powerful.
What's bounce rate?
So let's go through a couple key values in for Google Analytics. I would suggest that you guys, we don't have time to do a full deep dive of Google Analytics. There is very basic online Google Analytic training that you guys could do. There's like steps, like beginner, advanced, expert. Beginner Google Analytics is actually pretty involved. If you go through that course, you'll know 90% of whatever a client's ever going to ask you in Google Analytics.
Even
So-
if you don't have access to do everything? Because there's some things I don't have access to.
Well, you mean if the client doesn't give you access, you can't access the data. You got to get access to the client's website.
Well, I mean, like there's, I guess maybe there's some pages they don't have access, like audience,
Like what? I'm sorry.
like audience and things like that.
I'm not following you. I'm sorry.
The training, I was just here,